As we have Darby Allin, the RCW Carnage Champion, coming out here first. Now, Young Sin, this is possibly his biggest match yet of his young career here in RCW, as he is facing one of the champions here, and if he can get a win over Darby Allin here tonight, he may punch his ticket for a shot at that title right there around his waist at the RCW Ascend pay-per-view. The Season 8 finale. I can't believe I'm saying this because, you know, when you start something, and I've said this multiple times on my streams, when you start something, you never think of it as, you know, turning into something huge or turning into something big or anything like that or whatever. And now it is. And it's pretty insane. You know, with everything that we've done here surrounding RCW and series before that, as we get to his challenger, Young Sin here. Coming out here. Again, I'm excited after this match to share some of the news with you guys regarding the charity streams for later coming up in October. That'll be a month-long charity stream. So basically what it will be is on my streaming days, or days when I can find time to stream, I will be streaming throughout the entire month of October. On streaming days, on days that I'm available to you guys to stream. And after this match, I will be talking about that a little bit before we get into our next match after this one. So stay tuned for that as we have Young Sin getting ready here. Let's get this match underway, folks. Let's wait no further as we have Darby Allin and Young Sin. Here we go. As our referee gets us underway here, and Darby Allin now charging in. Unable to take Young Sin down here for the time being, and Young Sin with a clothesline in the corner. This is very important for Young Sin here, as this would be his first title shot since coming to RCW. It doesn't matter what title it is or what title they want to go after. Every title we treat here in RCW is just as prestigious as the world title held by Brian Outlaw here as an inverted DDT. And Darby Allin now. Who is this here? Distracting Darby Allin. Darby Allin's telling the ref to take a look. And it is Bryce Blackwell. It is Bryce Blackwell. As Darby Allin gets taken out by Bryce Blackwell. 1, 2, 3, and Young Sin, just like that, able to get the victory off of Darby Allin. More often than not, I did not expect that match to go that quick, but just like that, Bryce Blackwell screws over Darby Allin. And Young Sin is victorious just like that. Wow. Wow, I expected a lot more from that match there, but Bryce making his presence known here as we move on to our next match fairly quickly, folks. That's probably the quickest match we've ever had here calling the show. So let's go over to the break screen here as we move on to our next match. There we go. Just tuning it down a bit. So, real quick before we get into this next match, as we get the next match loaded up, I mentioned that a couple of charity streams that we'll be doing through the entire month of October, and it's basically going to be in awareness of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And basically, I had set up I believe it's called Tiltify. It's a website where you can manage fundraisers, and you can set a goal, and you can connect your streaming account to it, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, whatever, or you can have just the link to the page where people can donate. And yeah, I think the goal is $1,200 or $1,500. I'm pretty sure I'll have to double check on that. But it's pretty much set up, and it's going to be benefiting No More, the organization dedicated to stopping domestic violence and sexual assault. Because during this pandemic, it is very difficult for victims of such heinous crimes to get the resources that they need or even escape their abuser, which is often in the home. So I want to raise awareness of something that means a lot to me and something that is unfortunately very personal to me, as I was in an abusive relationship back in high school. Nothing of the sort of like domestic violence, because my ex and I did not live together, but it was an abusive relationship nonetheless. And I want to use, the platform that I have here on streaming and on YouTube, and something that I genuinely really really care about, to help people. And we're going to be doing that, and we have an arena that is all decked out in purple, in support of that, because it's color of domestic violence awareness. And we have an arena decked out in purple, and I'm still working out some kinks on the rewards, because I want to give back to you guys too as well. So I'm thinking of maybe possibly giving away like free shirts from my merch store, or something to give you guys a little bit of an incentive, because I want to give back to you guys, because you guys helped me so much, and I'm trying to give back to do a great thing, and something that I really really care about. And what better way to do that than to give away shirts to the top 3 donators or something like that. And we're still working things out, but for the entire month of October, that's what it's going to be. They may not be basic RCW episodes that you see here, because I really want to pay attention to the actual what it's about. And it's not going to be about RCW. It's not going to be about, me commentating the matches and things like that you normally see. It's going to be about raising awareness, and about really taking the time to raise awareness of something that is huge in our world today, and is unfortunate for a lot of people, and to be in those situations. And I really want to focus all of my energy and time into raising awareness and to doing this charitable thing to help people, and to not only share my story, because I've told you guys about it, and my book will go over that. I'm actually thinking of changing the name of my book to Caught in the Ropes or something, Caught in Ropes, or Between the Ropes, or something like that, or something. But I'm writing a book on the Outlaws, something that I've mentioned many, many times before, the Outlaw characters, which you see Luna and Sky walking here. 2 of the Outlaw characters and their journey through professional wrestling, including RCW and My Career series and things like that, and a little bit of backstory to those characters, and kind of going through my life. It's sort of like an autobiography, like mixed with fictional characters told through fictional characters. And I think so much attachment has happened with these characters. So much attachment has happened. So much, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to those characters and help themselves and make themselves a part of something, and be able to relate to something, have something that you can relate to, and to really really help people, because that's something that we need more than ever now. We need people to help each other. We need people need that support system, and it's really difficult for some people to realize that they have that support system, and realize that they have people that care about them. And it's important that, we help out those victims and, get them out of the bad situations that they've been in and figure out what's next for them. I can tell you, I feel as free as I was when I got out of that position that I was in. And it was a very uncomfortable position that I was put in. At 16 years old, I was still growing up and I was still dealing with things and just trying to make sense of the world because, you're 16 years old in high school and I didn't know anything yet, really. And I just want to use this time to really look into just helping people and making sure that, people get everything that they need. And what better way to do that than to give you guys some awesome wrestling action along with, doing something for charity and helping, people, because that's what I do. And I try to help people in many different ways that I can. And, it's really difficult, because it is a really sensitive topic and it is a topic that has to be taken seriously. And I feel like when you guys read the book, what I want you guys to get out of it is not only to connect with me more, but to look at the issue for what it is. And, because there's going to be issues in the book that are touched on that are very, very sensitive. And I feel like, when you talk about things like domestic violence, or any type of abuse or depression, anxiety, mental health, or anything like that, it's important to be open, but it's also important to be real and try not to overly exaggerate something. Or if you're going to overly exaggerate it, at least your motive should be positive and should be, real. And I think one of the movies that comes to mind is The Joker, and what he went through and everything else. It really opens people's eyes on mental health and how mental health can affect someone. And, in the book that you guys will read, my book, it tackles a lot of that. And it's not meant to be triggering. It's not meant to, bring back bad memories of people, but I know that can happen. But it's really meant to raise awareness of things and say that these things happen, especially to males, because it's a very, 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 very gray area in terms of how men have been treated over the years with talking about mental health and talking about abuse and different things that are more common among women. Basically, moral of the story is when you come to these charity streams, I don't expect anyone to donate at all. But I ask that you, think about it, that you think about it and that you make sure that you realize why something like this exists, why something like this is a problem, and what you can do as a person to help. Because some people, they may feel like, what can I do to help? And simply just listen to somebody, listen to their story, and let them talk, let them vent, do whatever they have to do. And that's kind of my spiel. I hope that you guys, can join me in that. And I know that was kind of a heart-to-heart kind of talk, and we got serious for a minute. But I felt like that had something to do with what we're going to be doing in October. So I will have a link up. I will have a command because I have the Trovo bot set up. So I will set up a command which will send a link to the fundraiser page in which you can donate. I still have to set everything up still. But, when you donate, I ask if you're going to donate, I ask that you donate to that page and don't donate to, my Streamlabs page or something. Because, as much as I would love that, it's going to be about that the entire month. And it's going to be about raising awareness of something that is happening in our world that shouldn't be, and, that needs to be talked about more, and everything else. And I want to make sure that victims of this get the resources that they need, and the funds that are being used will help victims get a sense of control and agency, and be able to try and heal and live a normal life after they get out, which is what I had to do. So with that being said, we're moving on to our next match. Rosemary versus Rhea Ripley. Let's get to it. So we have Rosemary coming out here first. The Demon Assassin Rosemary. From the Valley of Shadows, from the Shadow Realm, it is the Demon Assassin Rosemary. Now, Rhea Ripley has her work cut out for her in this match, for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how someone like Rhea Ripley takes on such power that is Rosemary. So, we'll see how she does here as Rhea Ripley comes out here. Amazing Rhea Ripley done by Omega Man X44. Welcome, Sakate. Good to see you in here, man. The bot right there is going to welcome you into the channel. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm still learning the bot, because the bot is actually something that isn't like Streamlabs, so you have to like set it up manually and everything else. So it's kind of different than what I'm used to. But I took some time away. When I took some time away from streaming, I actually got a chance to set that up, and I will get alerts set up, because there is a way to get alerts set up with this bot. It's just more complicated than your cloud-based Streamlabs bot that you're used to seeing on like Twitch or something like that. And Trovo is working on that. Trovo is working on, I know that one of the things that they're working on is spells, which is the equivalent to bits. I know they're working on that. They're working on emotes for that. Yeah, it is a Trovo bot. They actually, somebody had made one. Somebody had coded one together. It's not like Streamlabs where it's a cloud-based bot. It's all about like coding and JavaScript and everything else. And it's not like as simple as logging in to something and having all your alerts there, which kind of sucks, because I really like simplicity. I really like the simplicity that is Streamlabs, how you have all your GIFs and everything else, but we'll work with what we have now. And I'll make sure that when the charity streams come up, I will have something to keep track of the donations and everything else when those come up. There's Rosemary with the knee right to the face of Rhea Ripley here. As Rosemary is looking to get Rhea Ripley to tap in this triangle submission here, but Rhea Ripley able to get out of that, using the power that she has, able to get out of that submission. Now Rhea Ripley with an Irish whip into the ropes, sends Rosemary there and throws her up in the air. And now Rhea with a couple of stomps there. We have a huge main event tonight. A triple threat match, and the winner of that triple threat match will find themselves in a title opportunity here at RCW Ascend or in a future episode of RCW, whatever they choose, to go up against Brian Outlaw, the RCW World Champion. Also, Brian Outlaw will be in action here tonight against Adam Cole of the Undisputed Era. As Rosemary, again, setting up that Death Triangle submission, but realizing that Rhea Ripley could easily break out of it, she lets go. Now propping up Rhea Ripley here now. And a suplex there, using that power that Rosemary has with that suplex there on Rhea Ripley. Now, if I were Rhea Ripley here, I would try and figure out a way to slow down the power that is Rosemary. As Rosemary lifts up Rhea Ripley, now looking for the Red Wedding here on Rhea Ripley. A variation of the F5 here. And Rhea Ripley with the kick out at 2.5. Rhea Ripley able to get the shoulder up at 2.5 here. Rhea Ripley continuing to fight here. But it makes me wonder how much is left in the tank of the Aussie here. Is Rhea able to dodge that splash in the corner? Now Rhea Ripley, though, here on Rosemary, possibly looking for the Riptide. I think she hit the Riptide on Rosemary, but able to get the, I believe it was the arm underneath the rope there to force a rope break. Not very wise there from Rhea Ripley. Is now Rhea Ripley stretching the arms out with the knee to the back of Rosemary. Now Rosemary, she's definitely had knee issues in the past, and that's something that Rhea Ripley should definitely take advantage of here in this match, but she has yet to really do much here to Rosemary. And just as I say that, Rhea Ripley putting Rosemary here on the top turnbuckle here. And now Rhea Ripley with a superplex from the top rope there. And both ladies are down, but now Rhea Ripley starting to stir after that suplex. Surprisingly very quickly, getting up fairly quickly from that. But Rosemary with a reversal here and a double axe handle right to the back. And now another strike to Rhea Ripley. And now Rhea Ripley has to roll out. It does look a lot like Rosemary, yes. I was very happy to find a good-looking Rosemary here. Here on the Community Creations. Some people are just pretty damn good at what they do here. By the way, if any of you guys need cause and you want some really nice ones there, you can go for Iconic 2K or Omega Man X44. Both of them are on Twitter, and both of them do a lot of hard work in making cause for other people. And it takes a lot of work to make these highly detailed cause. And Rhea Ripley here is made by Omega Man X44, and he's made, you know, Darby Allin, and he's making Tony Storm and a bunch of other wrestlers as well. They spend a good quality amount of time on these games just to make the cause for us. And you know, if you want to utilize them, definitely search them on Twitter. I believe Omega Man has like 3 or 4 Xbox accounts that he posts cause on. So he does a really good job at what he does, and I appreciate all of his work. It makes it 10 times easier on me because I know that he's going to make a really good call. I asked him to make an Eric Young one, so I'm waiting for an Eric Young one here as Rosemary is going to lift up Rhea Ripley again for the Red Wedding. 1, 2, and 3, and Rosemary, the Demon Assassin, is able to get the victory here over Rhea Ripley. And if you want access to other awesome wrestling content, this is as good time as any to promote my YouTube channel. You can enter the command YT, just exclamation point YT in the chat, and it will give you a link to my YouTube account, and there you can access everything from every RCW episode to my career universe modes with Luna and Brian, as well as many others pieces of wrestling content as well. So definitely access that. You don't have to if you don't want to. That I'm just throwing that out there. I also do a really good job, I'd like to think, of putting some awesome content there for you guys on the YouTube side of things. We're going to be bringing the Angle podcast back. That is going to be back, and we're going to be streaming that as well with me and my buddy Sakate here. We want to get Deftus Violator on there. Also, check out another podcast that I'm doing with my buddy Superfluicious Gaming on his Twitch channel, Superfluicious Gaming US, where we talk about wrestling and we basically just shoot the shit about wrestling. We talk about wrestling. We do watch-alongs for the pay-per-views. We're supposed to do a watch-along for Clash of Champions, which I believe is coming up this coming Sunday, I think. So we'll be doing a watch-along for that and other awesome things too as well. You know, it's pretty cool. I definitely enjoy doing the podcast with him because, you know, it's exposing him to other aspects of wrestling, and I love exposing other people to other promotions that they don't normally watch. He watched AEW All Out, and that was his first exposure to that, so that was pretty awesome. And he loved it. And, you know, it's just pretty cool getting to expose other people to other wrestlers and to other wrestling promotions. Because some people, they just watch WWE and they've never, you know, watched the indies, or they've never watched anything else. Or maybe they didn't even know that existed or anything. So, you know, it's good to have all different kinds of, I like to say, flavors and conversations in the world of professional wrestling. So if that interests you as well, you can definitely check those out. As we move on to our next match here, as we go over to the break screen again. There's that awesome transition there. As we have Big Nasty Bubba Blackwell here, going up against Drew McIntyre, and Bryce Blackwell, his brother, is at ringside with him. So, interesting story here involving Big Nasty in the Blackwell family. So we just saw Bryce Blackwell attack Darby Allin, the RCW Carnage champion. And basically, he gave Young Sin the win. Just like that, Young Sin was barely in that match. They were still fresh, and just like that, Young Sin got the victory. Maybe he's sending a message to Young Sin. But Big Nasty and Chris Danger have been butting heads for quite some time now, and it'll be very interesting to see if Chris Danger has any involvement in this match. Perhaps that's why Bryce Blackwell is at ringside. You know, it'll be interesting here to see what happens as we have the Claymore kick versus the nasty ending here with Big Nasty and Drew McIntyre. As we have Big Nasty coming out here with that EWL tank top on, as well as Bryce Blackwell with a similar attire to Big Nasty, the Epic Wrestling League, managed by Sakate. And I wonder what the executive advisor has told Big Nasty heading into this match, because he's experienced a couple losses in his career here on RCW. You know, not to diss Big Nasty. Big Nasty is possibly one of the most biggest and most baddest men here we have on the RCW roster. But, you know, it makes me wonder despite them being a family, the Blackwells, it's like with the Outlaws. They are a family, but, you know, when it comes to running for titles, got to load Bryce new shirt. Yeah, I definitely have to. Or I can just make him his own shirt. Like, I could make him, like, a really cool looking shirt and then put it on the merch store or something. I wanted to do something for that. I wanted to do something for the Blackwells since they're, like, a family, too. And I definitely wanted to do something for that. But Drew McIntyre, the monarch or the king of Claymore Country. And he's looking to send Big Nasty to Claymore Country. Except he won't be able to leave. So let's see if Drew McIntyre can kick the head of Big Nasty right off his shoulders here in this match. Big Nasty, definitely the much larger man in this stature here. But make no mistake, Drew McIntyre is a very large man in his own right, and an uppercut right to Drew McIntyre, and Big Nasty is loving what he's doing here right now, and Bryce is right there. Makes me wonder if Bryce is going to get involved in this match as he tries to go for a Boston Crab there. But a rope break saving that. An Irish whip into the ropes and a spinning elbow. A spinning back elbow there to Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre is getting tossed around. This is something that we are not used to seeing from Drew McIntyre. And a belly-to-belly suplex back into the ring there from Big Nasty. And now Drew McIntyre just launches Big Nasty from that back body drop there. Big Nasty, though, seems to be not fazed by it by any means, and again tossing Drew McIntyre. Again, this is something that we have not seen here. I've never seen a man of Drew McIntyre's size just be tossed around like a rag doll. But there's so much power in Big Nasty here. There is just an immense amount of power in Big Nasty, and if I were Drew McIntyre, I would find a way to wear the big man down, go after his knees, maybe his legs, you know, because if you can't stand, you can't do much of anything. But it's definitely, Young Sin and Jason Outlaw definitely found a weakness in Big Nasty as they got that victory over Big Nasty and Chris Danger there. Maybe that was the final nail in the coffin that made Big Nasty very pissed off at Chris Danger. Chris Danger missed the pin breakup, which resulted in Big Nasty ultimately losing that matchup for his team. However, I think if it was Bryce and Big Nasty together in that match, that outcome may have been completely different here, as Drew McIntyre finally getting some offense here on Big Nasty. But it has been all Big Nasty here in this entire match as Big Nasty kicks out at 1. Not even a 1 count, I should mention. That wasn't even a 1 count. That was like 0.5. And he tried for a clothesline, but as you can see, Big Nasty just took it. He just took it. Absolutely nothing is phasing Big Nasty here. And now Big Nasty lifting up Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Psychopath, as he goes down and then sent on there. Right to Drew McIntyre. This is an absolute mauling right now. An absolute mauling as Drew McIntyre gets sent to the ringside area. And Big Nasty trying for something at ringside. And now, what was that there? That looked to appear to be a shoulder tackle. And I think Drew McIntyre just knocked himself down. He's as nasty as he wants to be, as Sakate says. And I definitely have to agree with that statement. as Big Nasty rolls in to the ring here as Drew McIntyre is laid out. But Drew McIntyre able to get coherent enough to get to his feet. But that may have been a mistake there, as again Big Nasty just sends him down. And now Big Nasty with a nasty elbow drop there. Nasty like Big Nasty. All of his moves are nasty, because look at this man. The amount of power in this man, I have never seen. Like, he's even got Brock Lesnar beat at this point. As Nasty doing a little bit of a shake into the Nasty Splash. Right into the corner. But Drew McIntyre is still up and still fighting. I don't know what is happening right now. But this is... Oh, no. If Drew McIntyre uses that bat, he will get disqualified. As the referee took the bat away from him. Maybe Drew McIntyre realizing that he's not going to be able to beat Big Nasty without using weapons, without using some sort of equalizer, if you will. And I don't know. I honestly would have taken the disqualification if I was Drew McIntyre to avoid further injury. As Big Nasty is just running havoc here on Drew McIntyre. And a couple of those headbutts there. It's gotta hurt. I don't know how much that hurts Big Nasty as much as it hurts Drew McIntyre, but nonetheless, he is just mauling Drew McIntyre here. As Drew McIntyre now is sitting in the corner. Big Nasty possibly looking to set it up again. Looking to do a little bit of shimmy into the Big Nasty Splash again. But Big Nasty tired himself out there. He bit off a little bit more than he could actually chew there. And a Glasgow kiss right to Big Nasty. But Bryce Blackwell pulling off the distraction here. And that allows Big Nasty to take advantage. And a German suplex, a variation of a couple suplexes there. As Big Nasty lifting up Drew McIntyre for the nasty ending. 1, 2, and oh my God. Drew McIntyre with the wherewithal to kick out of the nasty ending. But it appears that Big Nasty's looking to set up one more. Another nasty ending. 1, 2, 3. And that is the end of Drew McIntyre. And Drew unable to send Big Nasty to Claymore Country as he leaves Claymore Country unscathed. But not without a little bit of help from Bryce. But nonetheless, I think that distraction didn't really matter in this match. Because Big Nasty was all over Drew McIntyre. I think regardless that Big Nasty would have won this match anyway. Because Big Nasty is nasty. And he is definitely big. And for sure, Big Nasty is your winner here tonight, folks, as we move on to our next match, as we go over to the break screen yet again. As we now have Brian Outlaw, the RCW World Champion, versus Adam Cole of the Undisputed Era. Now, Brian Outlaw has been champion for quite some time. Kevin Owens tried to cash in the men's lottery case that he had stolen from Ricochet. And he did that. But because Kevin Owens was not the rightful winner, that match was considered invalid, which gave Brian Outlaw back his World Championship by default. But that doesn't mean that Brian Outlaw is free from being in a championship match. However, he had told Ricochet is in that triple threat match here tonight, along with Kenny Omega and another opponent. But Ricochet, to me, I don't know why he put himself in that match. He wanted that match because Brian Outlaw already gave him a title shot, and he's already entitled to one because of what happened in regards to the briefcase. So to me, putting him in that match is going to make no difference. Putting him in that match is not going to be any different because Ricochet has already earned a title shot. Maybe he wants to earn it even more. I don't know. But we have Brian Outlaw versus Adam Cole. Here we go, folks. This is going to be a great match. As we have Brian Outlaw coming out here with his RCW World Championship around his waist here. Doesn't have the I'm So Over shirt on, and that's reason being is I'm working on a couple other awesome merch designs for you guys. And I'll be talking with Sakate and Deftest Violator and other people a part of my wrestling gaming community as we figure out some cool designs for, Whitney White and the Blackwell family and everything else. Because they are a part of the show, and they're going to be a huge part of the show. So I definitely want to have some really awesome stuff for them, as the system has been shocked as Adam Cole, baby, makes his way to the ring here. And as you can hear the crowd, Adam Cole, baby, goes through this arena. Now this is a huge opportunity for Adam Cole here, as he can earn himself a title shot if he's able to beat Brian Outlaw here. But, Ricochet, like I mentioned, he already has that on tap. But anything can happen in the world of RCW, and we are just a few episodes away from the RCW Ascend pay-per-view, the Season 8 finale. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. As Adam Cole is ready. Let's get this match underway, folks, as we have Brian Outlaw saying, "Come get some" here, like John Cena. As we get this match underway, and right away, a spear to Adam Cole and a kick out. Looking to end that match early, perhaps. Adam Cole with a kick to the midsection here. Now Adam Cole looking for the float over DDT, but Brian Outlaw finds a way out of it. Very easy for him to find a way out of those predicaments there. Is a DDT, the jailbreak DDT, the jumping from the top rope. That is his bread and butter. There is a kick right to the chest, I believe, of Adam Cole, and a kick right to the hamstring there, working on the legs of Adam Cole. I would go right after the knee if I were Brian Outlaw here, because then he can't hit the last shot. Then he's going to be unable to hit the last shot, his signature maneuver there. And a clothesline in the corner from behind there, and now looking to get the cover here. Bryan could have gone for the rope break, being close to the ropes, but, you know, kicked out. Because we've had issues in the past where referees haven't seen rope breaks. So sometimes it's better to just kick out, but you got to wonder how much energy you are spending there trying to kick out of that. And oh, a kick right to the chest, I believe there, sending Bryan Outlaw back to the ringside area, and Bryan gets back in the ring. And a downward spiral there from Adam Cole. And now Adam Cole in a world of hurt here, but this is a back and forth match going on here right now. These two know each other very well as they faced off many times before here on RCW. And now looking for a guilty verdict here. A variation of the Crossroads, and he connects with that right to Adam Cole. And that may be all she wrote on this one. Court will be adjourned here in about 3 seconds. 1, 2, and Adam Cole with the kick out. Court is still in session now. Adam Cole able to get the kick out and a leg drop there. A simple leg drop from Bryan Outlaw there. Now an Irish whip into the ropes and a spine buster there. A quick spine buster to Adam Cole, and now a couple of knees right to the back, working on the back of Adam Cole there. Now trying to go for those quick strike kicks again, but Adam Cole checks that kick. Now Adam Cole lifting up the champion in a simple body slam there. It's not much to take Bryan Outlaw down. He's not, shouldn't call him a tiny guy, but he really is, but he's got a lot of heart though. He may only be 5'6", around 120 pounds, but, you know, this guy's pretty ballsy for sure. Especially in the way that he talks. I mean, I'm surprised that we haven't seen Bayley and Paige in quite some time here. Considering how much Bryan is very fond of those ladies. As Adam Cole lifts up Bryan Outlaw here, and now looking to do something dangerous here from the top. Adam Cole finds himself here with a suplex. A superplex from the top. We've seen it in the We've seen it many times before throughout the night, and a super kick. My God. Adam Cole is firing on all cylinders here, trying to take down the champion. 1, 2. He's going to get the champion, and no. Bryan Outlaw able to kick out. Oh, no. Now he's looking for that last shot. He's looking for the last shot. He's going to get it. Last shot. Last shot on Bryan. 1, 2. And Bryan with a kick out at 2. He able to get the shoulder up at 2.5 there. Adam Cole almost had Bryan Outlaw here in a little bit of frustration. Cover there and another kick out. Well, Bryan Outlaw continuing to expend some energy, and I think he was busted open from that last shot. Bryan Outlaw is used to the taste of his own blood by now. And another knee right to the side of the head. Oh, but a Hurricane Rana, though. And that may have pissed Bryan off. As he ascends to the top rope. Lying in wait here for the jailbreak DDT. And now Adam Cole is busted wide open. 1, 2. No, and Adam Cole with the kick out at 2.5 now. Adam Cole is able to kick out now at 2.5 as Brian Outlaw looking to ascend back up to the top. For one more time, jailbreak DDT. It's a wrap now. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole goes down. Court is adjourned as Brian Outlaw beats Adam Cole here. But my God, how close did we get there to Brian Outlaw taking one last shot there and going down for the 3 count. It took 2 DDTs, 2 jailbreak DDTs for Adam Cole to go down, but nonetheless, he takes the loss as we move on to our next match here, as we go over to the break screen yet again. As we have our main event here, the triple threat match that I had mentioned. And I believe it's a triple threat elimination. I had set it up to be a triple threat elimination match here. As we have Ricochet, Kenny Omega, and Lio Rush. That's right, Lio Rush is back, and he is ready to collect a title shot. Like I said, Ricochet does not need to be in this match, as high stakes are in this match, as whoever wins it gets a title opportunity. But he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't. But he's willing to do it anyway. I'm not going to question it, but I already told him he's already earned a title shot, considering what happened with Kevin Owens in that briefcase. As the one and only wrestling superhero, Ricochet, is ready. Well, let's waste no time and let's get his challengers out here. Lio Rush, he's coming to collect. And the only thing he's going to collect here if he wins this match is a title shot. As Lio Rush is ready here. Now let's get to the final opponent here, the final entrant in this match, as we have Kenny Omega, the best bout machine, Kenny Omega. Now, this is a dream match, if I'd ever seen any. A triple threat match, which I believe I set it up for elimination. I will check before we get started here on this match to make sure that that's what it's set up as. But I believe it is, as I like to have a little bit of elimination matches here on RCW. I like to keep things pretty awesome, keep things fresh for you guys, as Kenny Omega comes out with that leather jacket, looking all good there. Ready to win a title shot. Here as we get this underway, as this match is underway here, real quick as I go over to making sure that is, I guess it's a, let me see here. I guess it is a normal triple threat match. My mistake for not setting it to be the elimination, but nonetheless, we're going to get an amazing match either way. As Ricochet now rolls out to the outside as Kenny Omega and Lio Rush go at it here. Now, it's very wise here. Now, if this were the elimination match, it wouldn't matter for Ricochet to be here on the outside, but you know, this is very interesting here for Ricochet. Because like I said, Ricochet has already earned himself a title opportunity. Because I just don't understand why Ricochet would put himself in this predicament. As Ricochet's already redecorating the tables here that we have set. As Kenny Omega and Lio Rush continue to go at it. It's now Ricochet now looking right at Kenny. He's looking right at Kenny Omega and he gets met with a huge kick. That's what happens when you look at Kenny Omega the wrong way. It's now Ricochet and the Best Bout Machine going at it here. Kick to the midsection there. And now a clothesline. And now again he turns his attention to Lio Rush as Ricochet now in the corner. As Lio Rush rolls out, very wise there for Lio Rush. Taking some early punishment here early on. Ooh, now a punch to the midsection there as Ricochet is able to get back to a vertical base. Irish whip into the corner, and Kenny Omega butt meets turnbuckle there. And that definitely can't feel good there. He tried for that running hip attack in the corner, but Lio Rush able to come back here. Now Lio Rush is going out to the outside to turn his attention to Ricochet. And now going back in the ring, turning his attention to Kenny Omega. Very wild here in this match is Kenny able to kick out at one as Ricochet was getting in there to possibly break up the count, but didn't need to. He didn't need to. Couple of strikes there from Lio Rush. It's Ricochet with a super kick right to Lio Rush now. And now Ricochet's trying to clean house. As he tosses Kenny Omega to the outside. Tossing Kenny Omega. And now Lio Rush and Ricochet are the only ones in the ring here at the moment. Again, this is our main event of the afternoon here. The winner goes on to face a champion of their choosing. Most likely, it may be. It's Lio Rush now. Lio Rush with a kick right to the side of the head there. But Kenny Omega able to prevent Lio Rush from going for the pin cover there. And now variation of the Three Amigos there. Shout out to Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace, man. There's Ricochet. Ricochet now gets up to his feet and tosses Lio Rush from the top. And now it's just him and Kenny Omega. It's just him now and Kenny. I'm surprised none of these men have ever used any weapons here in this match at all. It's Lio Rush though. Lio Rush taking over here, but oh, what a right hand from Ricochet and a rolling Sabat kick there and an elbow. But Lio Rush able to check that elbow there. Back and forth action we're seeing here is a drop kick right into the apron. Back first goes Ricochet. Remember, the pin's got to count. Inside the ring is a V-trigger knee strike there. Right to Lio Rush. Kenny Omega with the freshest amount of wherewithal in this match here. Is now Ricochet and Kenny Omega. Oh, tried for something there, but an elbow. And now, oh, gets planted. Ricochet head first on the back of the knee there, and Lio Rush able to break this pin count there. Lio Rush just in time and a jawbreaker there. Uh-oh. Lio Rush. Lio Rush here. Lio. And he connects with that kill switch there. And Ricochet's right there to break that pin up. Now Lio Rush rolling out. I don't know how wise that decision is there. Because now Ricochet has Kenny Omega all to himself. Makes me wonder how smart this is here. Is Kenny Omega looking to get the win, but a kick out? I think Lio Rush would have rushed in there real quick, no pun intended, to break up the pin. But that wasn't needed as now Ricochet rolls out to the outside. Now Ricochet looking to rest now. Kenny Omega. He's done that to Drew McIntyre. Is Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega with a suplex to the outside to Lio Rush. And this is definitely awesome. And I said this is a dream match, and it definitely is living up to the expectations here. There's now Kenny Omega and Ricochet now. Facing off against each other, look for a super kick, but now Ricochet sends Kenny down. Lio Rush is dead. That is right. And now a downward spiral again. Well, just as I say that, Lio Rush is beginning to stir now. And a super kick just flattens Rush. And Rush again goes to the outside. And just like that, Ricochet. It's all done but the shouting here as he goes for the 630 senton to Kenny Omega. Boom! Right there, right in the middle of the ring there. 630 senton to get a title shot. 1, 2, 3, and Ricochet has just earned himself a title shot despite already having one anyway. He already had one anyway, but this for sure puts him in a title shot. Now, he doesn't have to, under any circumstances, he doesn't have to take the title shot at the RCW Ascend pay-per-view. He doesn't have to wait that long. Because of what happened regarding the briefcase, and because of him just being who he is, wanting to earn that title shot, even though he technically already did, because he climbed, he earned the briefcase, yada yada yada, and that was it. But because of what happened regarding the briefcase with Kevin Owens, he can take a title shot anytime, anywhere, because that's what the briefcase granted him. So he could easily decide to challenge for the title next episode. Or he can decide to wait to the big stage for RCW Ascend and decide to do that and challenge for the title then. But maybe he's ready now. Maybe he's ready. And I can tell you for damn sure, Brian Outlaw is ready. And he's ready at any time. So that should be very interesting as we conclude this episode of RCW. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I promise I will have this video or this stream up anyway and edited and everything for you guys to enjoy. And I'm very excited for the charity streams coming up in October. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to see what happens in regards to that. I'll definitely be talking to Sakate, Deftest Violator, and other people as well, just to kind of get more awareness as the weeks go by and we finally start doing that. Also, you know, I want to get some merch designs out for the Blackwells, some merch designs out for Whitney White and Luna and all that. Because I see some really awesome opportunities there. And so I'm really excited to see what happens in regards to that. It's going to be fun. It is going to be awesome. And I'm really, really excited to be doing some really, really cool things in the future, especially with RCW and with the charity stream. One of the things that I definitely want to do coming up is I want to do a podcast episode that Sakate and I have been talking about it with Deftest Violator, and one of the episodes that we kind of had planned was talking about our characters, talking about how Deftest has created Whitney White and how Deftest has created the Click and, you know, all of his characters, because he has a lot of created characters. I know Sakate is looking to create more for his league. I like to have viewers' characters in here, but I also think that, I don't know, there's just something about being more attached to a character that you have created. You know, Deftest Violator mentioned, like, getting really hyped when you have your creation out there, and performing and streaming, and entertaining other people. So we have a podcast episode that's going to be kind of surrounding that. And I definitely want to use that, not only to talk about the characters and to have Sakate and Deftest Violator talk about their characters as well, but I also want to use that as a way to talk about the book, to talk about the book that I'm writing. It was called Life on Lockdown, but I think I'm going to, you know, rethink the name a little bit. Nonetheless, it's still going to be the same kind of plot line, same kind of thing. And I really think we should use that opportunity to share it with you guys, because, you know, there might be a lot of things that Sakate's viewers are wondering, and my viewers and Deftest viewers, on, like, how they created all this. Like, not just creating the show, but how they came up with characters, how they came up with storylines, how they came up with a bunch of things. Because there's a lot of people that do what we do. You know, there's a lot of people out there that do what you do. And the number one issue of streaming is being unique enough to where, you know, you can get people to stay around. You can get people to come back to your streams. And I think what makes, you know, Sakate's and myself and Deftest and all of us unique is that we have our own ways of doing our own universes. You know, I've created the Outlaws and how in-depth I've made them, and, you know, it's story. It's not just like taking a character and creating them and putting them into a game, because literally anybody can do that. Anybody that has this game has the power to create. I mean, anybody can make a really awesome story too. You know, it all, I'm in this creative problem-solving class, and it's all about, you know, thinking creatively, thinking outside the box, and figuring out how to solve problems, and just really opening your mind creatively. And one thing that I learned, like, in that class and just doing through all these stories is that the more you relate to people, the more captivating you make it, the more drawn in people are going to be. And the more willing that they're going to want to listen to it more and really just be a part of it. And I'm really excited to explore that and to see where that goes. So stay tuned for that. More information will be coming out about the charity streams as we inch closer. I will have a command set up for it. That's one thing I will do, and it's easy as just creating. You enter when you have the bot set up. All it is !create, and then you create a command, and then you put a link in front of that command. So then it creates a command for you. So I'll have everything set up, and I'll be talking about it more as the week goes on. And make sure you follow me on all my socials and everything else. I think I have... Maybe I do have a Twitter command. Let me check if I do or not. I know I have a link tree for you guys. I can go on there real quick. And maybe it's another command. I think maybe it is connect, I think. Let me try that instead. Nope. Oh, there it is. There is the link to all of my links, including Twitter, Discord, and everything else. There's all my links there. In which you can connect. It's easier to do that because it has all the links in one setting. We will have a separate command for the charity streams to give you guys a direct link to it so that you guys can, donate if you so choose. Again, just being here for that and raising awareness for that is enough. Like, you don't have to donate by any means. But those streams will be longer. Normally, I like to go for an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours on a normal stream. But those streams will definitely be longer. Maybe 4 hours, 5 hours. We may mix some WWE playgrounds or battlegrounds in there. Now that that's out. That actually came out at a really good time, so we might be mixing, wrestling stuff in there. Maybe I can get together with Sakate and just mess around in battlegrounds and have fun. So that should be something awesome, and I hope that you guys tune in for that, regardless if you donate or not. It's just doing something good, wanting to give back to the community, and wanting to help people, and raising awareness of issues that definitely need to be addressed. Because if you don't raise awareness of these issues, it's just like with everything going on today. With all the issues going on today, with social injustice and everything else going on, that it's important to raise awareness of those issues in a positive way, and in an effective way, to really tell people, like, this is something that we need to look at. And that is what the charity stream is for. It's raising awareness for, domestic violence, especially in males, and normalizing talking about things that may have been considered taboo, especially for males. For whatever reason, there's this societal standard that men have, and same thing for women too, in certain aspects, where men aren't supposed to talk about mental health, men aren't supposed to talk about this or talk about that, and these charity streams and everything else going on, like, that is just another reassurance that we need to talk about it. And the book, obviously, my book explores my story of dealing with relationship abuse and relationship violence and getting out of that situation. And like I mentioned earlier in the stream, you'll see earlier in the stream where I talked a lot about it, where it's just important to raise awareness of these issues and to make wary of these issues. And with a place like Trovo, where the community is so connected with each other and the community wants to help out each other, I've been talking to a bunch of streamers on Trovo and seeing if they can help. I know that my buddy Colonial Vapor, he is a part of an organization, a gaming organization, and he said that I should get in touch with somebody there to continue to raise awareness of this and to publicize it, to make it so that people know more about it. And I hope you guys will join me. So I'm excited for that. Stay tuned for that. As far as the YouTube content goes, I'll be recording some more YouTube content for you guys and making some awesome content through that. So with that, I thank you guys for joining me, and this has been RCW, and I will catch you guys on another stream. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next time.